Listen carefully, because I'm about to tell you something most men never hear until it's too late. Cheating wives don't get caught because they're smarter. They get away with it because they use 6 dirty tricks you never see coming. Tricks whispered about in group chats, laughed about over wine nights, and hidden in plain sight right under your nose. I'm going to betray my own gender for a moment, because I've seen wives brag about these tricks in private chats. I've used some myself, and I've listened to the gossip other women swear their husbands will never figure out. Most men check the obvious places: phones, laptops, social media. Meanwhile, she's laughing because the real tricks are invisible, psychological, and carefully rehearsed. I'll show you 6 of them, and if you spot even one, it means she's not just careless, she's calculated. Before we begin, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me your city. Let's see how far the truth spreads tonight. The first dirty trick is what I call the digital silence. Pay attention to her texting rhythm, because patterns tell the truth. She used to reply quickly, little check-ins through the day, but now, hours vanish, 2, 3, sometimes the whole afternoon of silence, and when she finally answers, it's wrapped in excuses that sound perfectly logical. Phone died, meeting ran late, gym was packed. All believable, all rehearsed. Here's the hidden part most men miss. Affairs require blocks of uninterrupted time. When she's with him, your messages are a threat. One buzz from you could ruin the mood or remind her of what she's hiding. So she creates dead zones. Same days, same hours, disguised as errands, workouts, or girls' nights. I knew one wife who went dark every Tuesday from 1 to 4. Always the same excuse, always the same over-apologizing paragraph. Turns out those were her standing dates. Your gut knows the silence is scheduled, but silence isn't the sharpest weapon. The next trick feels like love, until you see the trap. The second trick is the perfect wife performance, and this one fools almost every man, because it looks like love. Suddenly she's cooking your favorite meals again, packing your lunch, cleaning the house like she's prepping for inspection. She showers you with compliments and maybe even buys you gifts. You think, finally, things are improving. Wrong. That sudden wave of perfection isn't affection. It's guilt management. She's balancing the scales in her mind, convincing herself that if she treats you like gold at home, then what she does outside doesn't count as much. I've watched women send flirty messages at dinner while serving their husband dessert with a smile. I know wives who bought expensive watches for their men with the same credit card they used for hotel rooms. The performance makes you grateful, even guilty for doubting her. That's the trap. Real growth in a marriage happens slow, not overnight. So when perfection arrives out of nowhere, ask yourself what she's covering. But when that act fades, another trick steps in. One that turns her friends into accomplices. The third dirty trick is friend alibis. She knows you won't question her closest girlfriends, and she uses that trust as a shield. Suddenly, there are more girls' nights, book clubs, or late dinners with Sarah, Jenna, or Emma. These names become repeated cover stories, and if you ever push back, you're painted as controlling. What, you don't want me to have friends? I've heard women laugh about this in group chats. One bragged that she and her friend swapped names whenever their husbands asked where they'd been. If you say Sarah, I'll say Emma, she joked, and the men never doubted a thing. Notice the pattern. The same names, the same excuses, perfectly timed to match her absences. And here's the cruel part. She often picks divorced or single friends, the ones who encourage betrayal and whisper lines like, "You deserve to be happy." Those friends don't just know, they participate. They're her alibi, her defense team, her camouflage. But she doesn't always need allies. Sometimes the evidence is hiding in plain sight, right under your nose. The fourth trick is the car and bag vault. Most men check her phone or laptop, but almost none think to rip apart her gym bag or crawl under her car seat. That's exactly why she uses them. I've seen wives keep entire second phones taped under the driver's seat for months. Others hide printed emails and receipts in the spare tire compartment. Gym bags are even better. They're filled with sweaty clothes and personal items you'd never touch. Modern bags have hidden compartments, perfect for receipts, changes of clothes, or a backup SIM card. One woman I knew bragged she carried a tiny waterproof phone case in her yoga bag. It looked like fitness gear, but it held her second number. And if you ever find something suspicious, she'll say a friend borrowed the car, or she left old receipts from errands. Easy to explain away. These hiding spots work because men don't search systematically. We glance, we trust, we shrug. She knows that, but physical hiding spots are simple once you know them. The next trick doesn't hide objects. It hides inside your own mind. The fifth dirty trick is psychological reversal. This one is pure mind control, and it's devastating. You notice something off. Maybe she's texting at midnight or guarding her phone like it's state secrets. You ask a calm, reasonable question. Who is that? And instead of answering, she flips the script. Why don't you trust me? After everything I do for you, you're accusing me. Suddenly you're the bad guy, defending yourself against labels like jealous, insecure, or controlling. I've seen this play out in real life. One wife was caught grinning at her buzzing phone during dinner. When her husband asked who it was, she snapped back, "I can't believe you're so paranoid." Meanwhile, the phone buzzed again right in her pocket. The genius of this trick is that it trains you to stop asking. Every question turns into an attack on your character. You learn to stay silent just to avoid the fight. That's how she hides in plain sight. But the cruelest trick of all isn't about arguments. It's about replacing you without ever saying a word. The sixth trick is emotional compartmentalization. This is where you stop being her partner and quietly become her cover. Look closely at her words. Once, her messages carried warmth. "Miss you already. Can't wait to be in your arms tonight." Now her texts read like calendar reminders. "Dinner's at 7. Pick up bread. See you later." Flat, functional, stripped of life. That emotional temperature drop is not random. It means her energy has been redirected. Here's what most men miss. Emotional bandwidth is limited. She cannot maintain two deep connections at once. So she reserves her warmth for him, while you get the cold logistics that keep the household running. I've reviewed message histories where the husband's screen was empty, dull, almost clinical, while the other man's phone lit up with strings of laughing emojis, flirty one-liners, voice notes recorded in secret bathrooms, and photo snippets sent in. Stolen moments. She isn't just being brief with you, she's compartmentalizing. To her, you're the practical partner box. Bills, groceries, errands, child schedules. He gets the passionate partner box. Jokes, affection, and emotional investment. And here's the cruel psychology. The more invested she becomes in him, the harder it feels to fake affection for you. Loving words toward you feel like lies, so she avoids them. Silence becomes her safe zone. You'll notice the shift first in text, long before it shows in person. She stops asking about your day. She doesn't share her own thoughts anymore. When she does engage, it's transactional, like a coworker managing logistics. Meanwhile, she's giving someone else her secrets, her anticipation, her unfiltered emotions. One man told me his wife stopped replying to his morning check-in texts, but later, after she forgot to lock her screen, he saw her sending 3-minute voice notes to another man before leaving for work. That wasn't distance. That was transfer. This is the final, most devastating trick because it erases you without confrontation. You're not left with a fight or even lies you can challenge. You're left with cold politeness while another man receives the version of her you used to know. And when her words turn to ice, understand this. It isn't mood swings. It isn't stress. It isn't distraction. It's replacement. She's already living another life, right beside you,